Yo, this is your boy KC from the
Kicking It With KC show.
When I want to jam, I'm jamming with Queen Josie and DJ Nino as they're kicking those vibes.
Don't be a crook who steals. Buy what you need at DougieDeals.com.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
Give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat
Squad.
couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad.
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we'll take a quick break. You are listening to
It's the Wait a Minute Show
on the Two Live Stools Radio Network, and we are getting your sports fix in for tonight. I'm tucking y'all in and getting over this hump. We headed downward to the weekend. So, like I said, we're going to get back into some NFL news, and then we'll get back into the NBA and college basketball. So the NFL, once again, they were talking about, this was a catch, going back, trying to simplify the rule, make it a little bit easier, make it more uniform to what is a catch and what is not a catch. Another thing they decided to touch base on is this whole thing about pass interference. And I think it's long overdue. Now they might have thought about it before. Now they're saying that they thinking about putting it on the table, and it could be on the table at least to discuss it, which would be a good thing. And right now, pass interference is a spot foul. And for those who don't know what a spot foul is wherever the spot it happened. So a lot of times you got these pass interference where it's 30 yards, 40 yards, 50-yard penalties, or, if it's in the end zone, then they put it on the one, and all this. So they're looking at basically mirroring college football, where it's a 15-yard penalty. If you get caught for pass interference, it's just a 15-yard penalty. And I thought about it, and I would like the rule change. Because I keep thinking about maybe someone out there, and I forgot to say, coming back from the break, if you want to call into the show, you can call into the show, 650-THE-WHAM-1, THEWAM, for Wait a Minute, of course, Wait a Minute 1, DWAM1. You can call in if you got a question, or if you want to talk about this whole thing about pass interference, you can do that as well. But it makes sense, because I'm trying to think, if there's anything else really out there that penalty-wise in the NFL that is like a spot foul. Because you got holding. Holding is, on the offense, 10 yards. Holding on the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down. You got offsides. There's a number to it, 5 yards. You got false start. I think I already said that. You got, illegal shifts and, all that stuff, it has a number to it as far as like what the penalty is. And I think pass interference is the only penalty where there is no designated number. And I think these offenses have taken advantage of it. I think the NFL does need to help out the defense a little bit, because let's just be honest that this league is now catered to offense. And it is one of the toughest jobs in the world to play defense in the NFL, because there's so many things. You even got, helmet to helmet, hit on a hit on a defenseless receiver. So many things that's catered towards the offense, and you really don't have anything for the defense. So I think, the 15-yard penalty, I would not be mad for the most part. And, unless one of my teams, is not benefiting from it, but whatever, the overall is 15 yards for a pass interference. I think that is good enough. I think that is still a yardage where you got to think twice about it, but it also still impacts field position as well, because Maybe it's 15 yards and an automatic first down. I don't know. They may do that, or they may just do, a flat, 15 yards. But a lot of times, unless you just have shot yourself in the foot and you're deep in your count, 15 yards would pretty much get you a first down for the most part, So I like the rule. I hope they make the rule change to the 15 yards. A lot of offensive teams or offense just in general, have taken advantage of this. And what I mean by this, and someone brought this up, and I forgot who it is, but it's a very good example. Quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who is very good at his cadence of getting guys to jump off sides. They jump off sides. That's already a 5-yard penalty. Now you got a free play. He throws it up as far as he can. And then if the the DB interferes, now you got a pass interference for 40, 50 yards, at this point, where it really should have just been a 5-yard penalty, at that point, or at the most 15. You can't be taking advantage of both, at this point. It's too much, on it. If you disagree, let me know. But I would like for this rule to change. I think with college football, we saw how it works. It seems like it has not impacted negatively, in a college football game. There's a lot of stuff that the NFL is taking from college football at this point. This is something else that they can take that I don't think that will hurt their product at all. Can you? You still can throw, the deep pass. Aaron Rodgers still can do that pass, hope for pass interference, and then you get 15 instead of 5. So it's still, you're gaining extra yards. It's just not 40 or 50. So I like the move. I would like to see that implemented this year. Let's just go ahead, get rid of the spot foul. Vote on it. Very easy. Bam, 15 yards, I think, what was the number? I think the number was, it might have been 226. Yeah, I think it was 226 pass interference was called. And basically the average for those pass interference was 18 yards. So we're right around the 15-yard mark anyway, So let's just put it 15. Make it simple. Then that way, defense gets a little bit of an advantage to at least know, hey, if I get beat, I can just go ahead and interfere with this guy that's 15. Now you don't want them abusing it, but hey, if you get beat, you get beat. Offense has been, taking advantage of it as well. So you got to give the defense a little something to go on, to give them a little bit of advantage or something that they can use, to make this game, competitive, if you will. I know you want to see a lot of offense. I do too, or whatever, but got to keep it a little bit fair. To me, I still think the offense, got the better deal overall. Anyway, the league is looking out for the offense. They're not looking out for the defense. No, I've yet to hear anybody in the NFL committee, executives or whatever it is, whoever it is that make these decisions or bring these up for discussion. I haven't heard anyone talk to the offensive players and say, hey, stop lowering your target area. Stop ducking your head. The defender has already got a spot that they want to hit you in. Nobody's talking to the offense about it. I'm just saying. Not talking to the offense about it. So, but I would like to see, that rule go into effect. So I guess nobody want to talk to me tonight, but that's fine. Y'all don't have to talk to. Hey, me and Lopan is here. We can talk to each other all night, and y'all can just listen. That's right, Lopan. So we're going to stay in the NFL and finish this up with some NFL offseason moves. And basically, like I said before, is that the NFL, they keep themselves relevant. They keep themselves in the news here and there to pop up. So we talk about them. So that's what we're doing right now. So this is basically cut week, if you will, leading up to the combine, because the combine is starting up tomorrow. But there's guys who we know probably wouldn't have been on a team or definitely not been on a team. And then there are some surprise cuts. The official season to start 2018 starts March 14th. That is why you have this whole thing with the Kirk Cousins trade that's going to take effect March 14th, because that is their January 1 for the football season. So some of the news just recently is Falcons. They decided to exercise the 5th-year option on Vic Beasley. They would be fools not to. At this point, Vic Beasley had a down year, but the year before he led the league in sacks. The Falcons changed up a little bit of what they were doing on defense, and they didn't let him rush, pretty much like he did during his 15 sack, season. They were changing up some things, trying some things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't, whatever. But it looks like they're probably going to get back to let him rush. But yeah, you got to lock him up. The Jets, they released Muhammad Wilkerson, long overdue. We knew that was going to happen. They were just now on the same page at this point. He was only 2 years into a new deal, but for whatever reason, something happened on that team where, I'm not going to blame either side, but they are not on the same page, so it was time for him to go. Matt Forte, he announced his retirement. I don't think anybody was surprised by that. You could see that Matt Forte did not have it. And this is not a knock on Matt Forte. I mean, we all get old. You can't do the things that you did 10 years ago. Well, most of the things. But you can't do most of the things that you did 10 years ago. But this guy should be applauded for, one, the way he came to work each week, each day, each moment. He's a constant professional. You never heard him out there, bashing anybody or doing anything crazy. And he gave the Bears some good years and a little bit of, light to the Jets as well. So congratulations to Matt Forte. I think it was a really, really good career. Obviously didn't end the way that he wanted it to end. I'm sure he wanted a championship, but this dude is a stand-up guy, and this is a guy that the NFL, should make sure that they acknowledge for doing things the right way, Other things, Mike Glennon got cut. Nobody was surprised by that. You move up in the draft and you draft a quarterback number 2 overall. You are not keeping the quarterback. So he made $15.5 million for 1 year. Nice little pocket change. Maybe he might go into the mix to be up for, one of these teams. But he at least will be a backup quarterback on someone's team, because every team needs a backup quarterback. Ask the Eagles. Panthers released Jonathan Stewart. I wasn't surprised there. I mean, Jonathan Stewart, he was a guy that got injured every year. And I think the injury just mounted up. He's been there for 10 years. He's an older back, and they drafted Christian McCaffrey. And they not drafted, but they hired Norv Turner. So I don't know if Norv Turner was going to use Jonathan Stewart like they would have needed to use it, like the whole bruising back, tailback. I think what they did, with Christian McCaffrey, he was their leading receiver. They're going to do more of that. They're going to get him out of the backfield. They're going to get him out in the open. They're going to get him in the slot position. Maybe even put him out wide. They're going to be doing a lot of that stuff. And that's not necessarily Jonathan Stewart's, forte. So, and again, he's an older back, and we know how they treat guys as they get older. They're looking for the new young blood, and they're going to look right in their division how Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara worked out. So they're like, we can get some young guys, at this point. We still got Cam. He's going to be, our third running option. I think that's really where they're trying to get Cam to be your third running option and not your first running option. Your quarterback should not be your first running option. So those are some of the stuff that happened actually today. We had some other stuff. The Lions franchise tag Ziggy Ansah. Nobody's surprised by that. Vontae Davis is signing with the Bills for a 1-year deal, so it's pretty much a prove it, deal with them is what I'm looking.